Kill Knight is a return to old-school arcade sensibilities, a straight-up high-score chaser anchored in twin-stick shooter traditions, but also owing a lot to the likes of Dark Souls, Hyperdemon, and Doom Eternal. It is ruthlessly exacting, but never unfair, with intense action and a skill ceiling that seemingly goes on forever. It's also, thankfully, a whole lot of fun. The learning curve may be steep, but I found myself quickly sucked in by the chunky, satisfying feel of Kill Knight's frenetic combat, not to mention its elegant interlocking mechanics, striking lo-fi brutalist aesthetic, grim mood, and killer soundscape. In action, Kill Knight is a whirling dervish of death, a high-speed mix of swords and gunplay, counters and supercharged screen clears. It's a game in which wave upon wave of enemies constantly crowds in, forcing you into perpetual motion, dashing to reposition, lining up blasts and kiting mobs to create just enough breathing room to clear them out. Kill Knight has no procedural elements, so each of the 5 levels, or Eldritch Layers as the game rather poetically calls them, unfolds the same way each time, playing host to the same overwhelming horde in the same order, and reconfiguring under your feet in a way that's reminiscent of indie classic Assault Android Cactus. You're always on the back foot, and simply surviving the many waves, let alone dominating them, really forces you to engage with all the combat mechanics. And boy, there are a lot. In fact, even with the tutorials, there's only so much you can really understand out of the gate. To improve, you need to play and play some more, many times over, gradually getting a feel for this destructive dance and the role your 3 core weapons, pistol, sword and heavy, all have to play. The pistols are your baseline damage dealers, but really come into their own once you're in the rhythm of using the game's active reload system to supercharge their firepower. The sword, meanwhile, is primarily there for utility. Killing with the sword restores your heavy weapon ammo, incentivizing you to use it whenever possible to drop weak mobs, so you can have your powerful heavy weapon online at all times. Layered on top of that are multiple ways to active reload, and several different special attacks and counters. It's a heady mix of mechanics, and you'll need them all, as every enemy has a weakness to exploit. Utilising every inch of the arena is critical to survival too, as is taking advantage of the brief period of immunity while dashing. Almost all the mechanics have a push-pull element to them. Enemies, for instance, drop blood gems, but these can be used in 2 distinct ways. One is to simply walk over them to boost your movement speed and kill power. The other is to hit the right bumper to suck them in and convert them to Wrath, which then powers a special attack called a Wrath Blast, which is both devastating and your only source of health orbs. Combat is an ever-evolving puzzle, as you scramble to prioritize targets, make the most of your arsenal, dodge damage, and try to avoid being overwhelmed by the incessant onslaught. Urgency is part and parcel of play too, as you're chaining together kills to grow and maintain a score multiplier. Go a couple of seconds without a kill, and you can kiss the leaderboards goodbye. That's not the only way to pile on points either. The difficulty you play on determines your overall score bonus, with the pace ramping right up as you crank the challenge. Moment to moment, picking up health orbs while at full health gives you bonus points, as does styling on your opponents with more advanced moves. As you master Kill Knight's various mechanics, you'll unlock extra equipment and the chance to significantly change your loadout. The game has an array of pistols, heavy weapons, swords, armor sets, and gems to unlock, and there are some pretty distinct options in the mix that really shake up the gameplay. Figuring out which combinations are most satisfying or tailoring builds to specific layers will all be part of the fun. I've really enjoyed what I've played of Kill Knight so far, and it's great to see Playside Studios stepping into the console space for the first time, and doing so with such a laser-focused vision. Kill Knight is coming out on October 3rd on PlayStation, Xbox, Switch, and PC. Be sure to check out the official release date trailer and gameplay clips, and for all your gaming needs, you're already in the right place. IGN.